I think this is one of the coolest things I've seen somebody build in AI Studio.
Yeah, when I saw this, I was just like, yeah, I had no idea that you could do something like this, but of course you can. We can kind of just bounce ideas off each other, and we weren't really version controlling the tools so much as version controlling the ideas.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex from Creative Lab.
And I'm Logan from the AI Studio team.
So today we have Kaloyan and Arden, two coders who worked on Project Genie. I learned that AI Studio and vibe coding was actually a big part of the design and development process that went into Project Genie. So we've invited them here to show us some of the fun stuff they've made.
So for Project Genie, we had to figure out a way to create an interface around this brand new type of model, a world model. Not a game, not a video, but something totally new that you would prompt with text, with images. There was also this visual challenge, how to brand the model. In the design of the app, we wanted to convey this idea of a world. And so our designers, Jocelyn, Kiati, Jesus, and Anli, came up with this really cool refractive 3D material. We wanted to build it out in code, both to validate the idea and also to just give us very custom tools and physics sliders to dial in the effect.
So we used AI Studio to vibe code a lot of the tools. And this is one of the prototypes we made called the Crystal-ball-ifier.
Let's just put ourselves in there and see what happens. The way I do it is I say for every single effect, add some sliders. And let's start playing with those sliders, which lets me discover these weird kind of in-between spaces that you couldn't normally just prompt for or you couldn't find on a mood board.
And in this case, a lot of designers had a lot of input as well, like the shines and things like that. Something that we landed on was this very sweet spot. The roughness kind of fades out, and we got this very soupy effect. Another unlock is that it's actually not a sphere. I think it became a lens at a certain point just because we really wanted some very specific things on the optical settings.
I think this is one of the coolest things I've seen somebody build in AI Studio. As somebody who knows nothing about what's actually happening right now, I assume this is just like some three.js code. And then I'm curious what happens after you find the magic using all the sliders.
Yeah, totally. So a couple different things happened. The actual developers could take this and then use it as a launch pad for building the actual website. You can very easily prompt this ability to save the settings and load them later through JSON files. So then I can send this app to them.
And it was really nice because this app became sort of a translation layer between our designers and then the engineers who are building out the front end. So our designers could say IUR value should be 3.5, and that's a very exact language that they can use instead of saying make it thicker or make it more soupy around the edges.
Exactly.
I mean, I remember projects where you'd be sending notes back and forth and you don't have the language to describe what you want, and it kind of actually makes it a less inclusive process. But when you have these sliders, suddenly you're all speaking the same language.
I thought it was so cool how me and Arden worked. It was almost this spontaneous collaboration.
We can kind of just bounce ideas off each other, and we weren't really version controlling the tools so much as version controlling the ideas.
I would just copy his app, add in a feature that I thought was cool, then maybe he would add it in his own way, in his version.
So then Kalo was like, add color correction. And I was like, oh yeah, you're so right. So added color correction in one prompt. So there's actually this whole timeline in here, these keyframes. So you can play different animations. It was just amazing that you could just do something like this. Even I was very surprised when I just saw the timeline appeared and it worked relatively well. I do wish it was, I wish we can kind of prompt it together.
You're in luck. We have multi-way GitHub sync coming. You can you'll be able to import from GitHub. And then also sort of this multiplayer live editing collaboration so that you can build things together, even if you're not there together. So it's in the works.
Fantastic.
Love to hear it.
I also want to say it's amazing that you built a video editor in AI Studio.
Yes, sometimes it feels a little funny that we're recreating design software from scratch. But one thing I really enjoy about this is that we can make it as idiosyncratic and hyper-specific as we need it to be. I'm not designing for a million people. I'm designing for me and my friends and my peers.
It's cool that this is such a great genuine example of the tools really are being used to sort of change the way that we build inside of Google, which is super cool to see.
Yeah, honestly, I've started to use AI Studio for my personal projects as well. I've been working on this ASCII art filmmaking tool. So you write a little script and it makes the music and it makes the scenes for you.
Similarly, I also felt very inspired by Genie, and I wanted to make this generative roguelike game where you fall into this world of your choosing. This is kind of like my lo-fi version of what I want Genie to become.
This is incredible. I think the thing that's going to be crazy is what actually does happen when you have AI Studio as this canvas where all of Google's models are available in a single place. So I'm super excited about that future.
Yeah, totally. I'm waiting for that moment.